I'll suck your toes, bro. I'll suck your toes.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Oh, God. Give me one of them. Give me two of them. Give me three of them.
Alright, we go.
What up?
Yo.
Yo.
Vive
Alright.
la vida loca.
So last week we were talking a little bit about. Hold on. I don't know what we should do for an intro. Yeah, we'll figure
There
that
is
out
no
later.
intro. It's like the baby. We get right into it.
Exactly.
Sushi, raw. Let me stop. All right, so coworker was a topic that we kind of left out off on. I'll start because I kind of have something that's a little fresh. But we were speaking on coworkers not being your friends, and it's not a personal experience because I already know how to draw that line. Like they always try to make me feel bad about not going out of my way to say hi to them, but it's like, yo, we just work at the same place. Like we really don't have that much in common outside of that. And one of my coworkers told another coworker something, and then they came back and they told somebody who was like higher up or whatever. And then they got in trouble. And they were like, wow, I thought we were like friends. I'm like, what? You forgot what this was? Like, you just work at the same, you show up at the same place 5 times a week. Yeah, you're going to have conversations. You might connect with some things, but it should not be a place where you're like opening up and saying some things that could get you in trouble. At the end of the day, you don't know what these people's past life, current life is like. And they probably just trying to do whatever they need to do to go up the ladder, be looked at as the goody two shoe or whatever. So it's just in that work environment being aware that it is just that, a work environment. And you could develop a good relationship with your coworker from that, but very rarely. Because once somebody leave or somebody goes somewhere else, like you're not talking. So that's my take or my 2 cents, my nickel.
You want to get in on it, or should want to go ahead?
You can go, bro.
I
Or I could be
mean,
lazy.
you know, makes sense. It's like that's like kind of just the logical thing about it. You know, like everybody's coworkers, all just coworkers. Like, you know, I think everyone knows that. But like the thing people like really like should know, like it's just like you don't have to share everything about it. It's like, you know, like just because y'all work and like just because y'all connect on some things doesn't mean the other person really wants to hear it either. Like sometimes they just be trying to do their work. Sometimes they just be trying to chill. If your worker has like their headphones in or something, like it's not that they're trying to be mean to you. It's just like yo, I'm not here to talk. I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to. Some people are just here.
You
Some
busted
people
in
just
that
here to
clock.
get
Yeah, no.
whatever done they gotta get done, or try to get on to their next place. So I mean, you know, well, more crucial thing is know which coworkers. I don't advise adding coworkers on social media, but if you are going to, you got to be real careful about who you add and who you don't add. Me personally, if we're working at the same place, you're not like the only thing you might have me on is LinkedIn. That'd probably be it until after I leave or one of us leaves that job. Otherwise, you know, then it's just like, you know, for some people it might take the fun out of social media for them. That's just my opinion on that though.
I guess it's my turn now, huh? Simply put, your coworkers are not your friends. think about this outside of just working as well. Like you go on a trip, whoever you go on that trip with, they not your friends. They just gonna be nice to you because they know you and you're in the same, general area for a specific amount of time. So for instance, school is another thing. Like just because you're mad friendly or you're mad nice to each other in school doesn't mean you're gonna be friends. High school, you had, and I'm sure it's true for you guys as well, you had mad friends. As soon as you leave high school, it's over for that.
Mm-hmm.
All contact is done. It's because y'all saw each other 5 times a week for years straight. Of course, you're gonna make bonds or whatever you want to call it for the meantime. It's just to get through it. So like going on trips, like I said, y'all gonna be in the same area. You'll probably know each other. You're gonna connect a little bit, but as soon as that trip is over, bro, it's over. You're not talking like that. People, especially with work, because work is an environment where people got their jobs on their line. It's their livelihood. Like if Timmy and Sarah work at the same spot and Sarah tells Timmy some bad stuff about her, Timmy's gonna tell his superiors and all that to get up in the job. That's what it is. If y'all fighting for the same position, oh, Sarah did this, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, she's not fit to be in the next position. People are dirty. They gonna go for that job title. They want to get that promotion. So you gotta be careful. How much information you share with the people who are around you, and not to mistakenly think that you keep to yourself, do what you got to do, and connect to the people who are really your friends.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Just, I guess, final point. Just because somebody's being cordial doesn't mean they're being your friend. As humans, we need that connection, and
That's
especially during stressful environments, connections help us get through that. So we just be using each other at the end of the day. It is what it is.
Yeah. It's not necessarily a bad thing.
No. It's the way of life.
It is what it is.
Like, everybody getting used some way or another.
Facts.
Some people just like to put some sugar and spice on it, but at the end of the day, All right, so kind of what me and Jams were touching on a little bit. Gonna touch a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, LGBTQ, and I believe they were trying to add pedophiles to that. I'm not sure exactly if they succeeded or not, but I believe it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and queer is the Q, I think.
I believe it's queer, yes.
Even though I thought queer was the same thing as gay, but
I've heard also someone say questioning before, but I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
Okay, I can see that questioning. All right.
I
was mentioning the Janet's part because I was on Tinder and saw a trans woman, but I didn't realize. Actually, even before Tinder, it was on Twitter. There was this girl. Or I thought it was a girl, and I guess I should have known it wasn't because her name, or she probably wants to be called her. So her name is Dick Girl Diaries, but I was kind of like, okay, so it could kind of be a guy, kind of be a girl. I was going through the media, and I started seeing things about like her dad finally accepting her for who she is, and then she had a pic of like her transformation. And when I tell you, night and day, I don't know where this person got the money from to do this, because they look like just a regular person. But boy, you would not be able to tell. And she did this transformation and still has her dick. Like, it's just like, what? But obviously, with something that has so many variables, there's going to be people who go about it a different way. Some people will dress that way and like the other sex. Some people will dress that way and like the same sex. So there's a lot of variables at play for sure. But it was just wow. Like, and I feel because they are, or at least the probably way they feel that they don't get enough shine, that kind of makes somebody want to do more and act out more. So they tend to do that, which is whatever. Like, I think it's human nature to kind of be that way. If you're getting rejected, you're gonna rebel, or like try to, get attention, feel loved, and all that. But yeah, it's definitely living in an interesting time. It'd really be nice to know if it was like this 3, 4, 500 years ago. I mean, I doubt it. I think a lot of the environment and what's coming in and out of our bodies has a decent amount to play in that situation. But some people feel they were born that way. I actually had a girlfriend whose sister was a lesbian, but she still dressed like tomboy, not like a dyke as they would say, or she wasn't dressing girly, but she wasn't dressing like out there. And I spoke to her sister, and she felt that was something. She was born that way, and she always liked girls. She's like, okay. I mean, I really don't have any qualms with it. Like, at the end of the day, live your life. As long as it's not harming anybody. Just those basic things. If that's what you really feel is you, then do you. It was just interesting. Like, I'd never really seen one. Like, obviously, in social media, you'll see some, or like.
You seen one post. What though?
So I've seen like Facebook articles, or like somebody post something.
But you
on
said
Facebook.
seen one. What do you mean by seen one?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, transsexual. You're right.
There you go.
So yeah,
because you just jumped into the next thing, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then I think there's a difference between, like, I don't know the terminology, but there's one where they do the whole transformation, you call them something, and there's another one where they only do like just like a girl. Whatever, it's complicated. But yeah. Yeah, just living in interesting times for sure. And I feel that group of people can definitely easily be led astray because they're going to be quick to react emotionally to things as they've been attacked or hidden. And now they feel this is the time for them to come out and be heard. Even if what they're using their energy behind is not necessarily what they may think it is. But I'm gonna let y'all go ahead because I'm really just ranting right now.
Are you like speaking like are you speaking more towards like them like coming out and like speaking out against certain things, or are you kind of like talking more towards just like just like their presence and like how you never know who may be transgender or who may not be?
Yeah, I guess it's more about like the presence and like how you kind of have to think about things that you really didn't have to even think about before.
I mean, well, it's kind of like, I mean, just think about like where you've been like, recently in the most recent years. Like this has been happening more so like probably around the time we were all in school. So think about like when we were in college, were we surrounded by that a lot? Were we surrounded by people of that nature a lot? Maybe, maybe not. But most times most times they don't really go around just yelling that they are or not,
True.
Sometimes
well, transgenders tend not to. I'd say if somebody's gay or bisexual, or lesbian, then they usually, like, you usually can tell. I think most of them, especially at this point, aren't as afraid because it's definitely more accepted on TV and stuff like that now. So if somebody says they're gay or they're lesbian, it's not like, oh my God, what the hell? It's more like, okay. Like this.
Yeah, but also with that, like, that's where you got to kind of be careful. You can, be careful about assuming, what someone may be or what they might be,
Right.
just because an outward appearance or other image that they present. So it's kind of just like, until you know for sure, you just gotta, just kind of just treat them as you would any other person. That's how I live, just like I try to treat everyone just as they're another person, you know. So like, I don't judge. I don't try to judge people like whether try to like. Obviously, it's a thought. If anyone tells you like they don't think it, then either that person is just really good and not trying to figure things out, or they're not really that observant, or whatever. But people naturally are going to try to think things when they see people that, you know, they notice someone that's a little bit more noticeable. So it's just, you know, thoughts that I come across. But, you know, it's the impact. What really matters is more so is the impact that it has on your thinking and how you act towards them. That's what I feel about it.
I agree. Yeah, I remember.
So my question
Yeah,
is,
you could go ahead.
go ahead. Nah, it's like what point like do you want me to speak on?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
It's
there's a
not
million
really.
things that you could talk about, but
Yeah, there
it's
is. It's
like
not
the
really a.
general.
Yeah, it's just a general. It's not really like a. Do you agree with it? Blah blah. It's just how do you feel
Yeah.
about the presence, and I guess a little bit how it may or may not have impacted you.
I feel like it's always been here. You know what I'm saying? It's just, people weren't as, outward about it as they have been in the past couple of years. I mean, just for clarity's sake, it's end of 2019 December. But obviously there's been gay people, lesbian people, and since my high school years, I graduated in 2013, so you can do the math. 2009, 2013, yeah, there's been gay people. I've come in contact with gay people, and it's like they're people. At the end of the day, they're people. You don't have to treat them no type of different. Like they still laugh, they still have emotions. It is what it
Exactly.
is. But there has been a lot more, at least visibly, in my experience in my lifetime. There's been a lot more um, in the past since college. So from 2013 to 2017, than I've seen when I was in high school. I feel like a lot more has been visual visually. There's more, like, that there's more people, in school. Like even my brother, well, my sister, she's in middle school, and she knows that there's people who are gay and lesbian, and she's in middle school, and it's more like openly accepted. um but when it comes to them as like a group, the whole LGBTQ group, I do feel like that they are very, very, very judgmental. Like they are quick to get on somebody's ass if something is not said correctly, or somebody is just not used to them in a sense. Like, so for instance, I feel like, Josh, what you were saying, you would get attacked heavily just because you weren't using terms that were friendly to them, I guess, to say.
Mm.
And just in this talk, like there'll be people who'd be like, don't call them him or her. You have to use gender neutral pronouns. So it's like, I feel like they're quick to attack and just jump on you. And he said it in the beginning, like, yo, he's not a professional at this. He doesn't know the correct terms. Like, he's trying to tread lightly, but even so, they will still attack you. So it's like, yo, I get it, because they've been oppressed, uh, at least in this society, for forever, pretty much. But at the same time, you have to walk people through it. Like, you can't just attack them, expect them to know.
Yeah.
I think that's
But
really
like I was saying, in general, yeah, in general, it's just like, yo, at the end of the day, the people, whether or not you believe it's a choice, doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna exist. They're gonna be here, and they're gonna do what they gotta do. That's simple to me.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think like, especially like that point where you're at, where you say like, their own people to correct them more so. And I
Mm-hmm.
understand where it comes from, because when you've been a group that's been in a way persecuted. You know, you have people being attacked for just being gay or being transgender. You're going to be quick to correct people because you're it's kind of going defensive, pretty much.
Right.
So it's something that just happens and it's understandable. So I think I'm kind of been on the lookout, and I've been watching and kind of paying attention a bit more to see a little bit less like of the attacking. But I have noticed that more people have been trying to teach, you know, and it's just trying to see like that little bit of understanding with people that might not understand as much. Like some people just gotta get slow walk to it. It's gonna take them a minute.
It's a fact. Some people may be quick at playing baseball. Some people it takes time to learn. This is different from each person to person.
Facts.
That's all it is. This is no big
remember,
deal.
The Weeknd got some heat for his line in Lost in the Fire. And he was saying he would something about, you told me you're going through a phase, trying to keep your heart safe. Basically saying that whoever the girl he was referencing was
I know what you're talking
being
about.
with a woman, and that he was gonna have sex with her straight, which I felt could be taken two ways. It could be literally sex straight, or have sex with him and then she'll be straight again. And people are like, oh, it's not just a phase, blah blah. And I'm like, you don't even know if the girl actually told him, because in the lyric he says that she told him she's going through a phase.
Yeah, she's going through a phase. She's trying to keep her heart safe. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a story as well. Like, don't think that just because he's speaking on this that it's real life. It's a story.
Yeah, but I mean,
to conclude, it's definitely very emotional group, and I guess it's to be expected. You know, it's to be determined what the future holds. Yeah. But yeah, that's a topic we could really delve into. But at least for now, I just wanted to get like a feeler about how we feel about the presence. Let's see.
Yeah, they here.
They're here to say
they loud
and with them, or they gonna be after you.
Go ahead.
No, I was done. I was like, either learn to live with them or they will be after you.
They I don't want to generalize, but like, again, like I was saying, they do attack heavy, bro. Like, you can't be no type of wrong. You have to be perfect at all times. Otherwise, you're getting attacked. That's a fact.
It's like a
just for instance, in my own experience, in my experience, the Pride Parade, you know, in New York, I was on a subway, and obviously a lot of people are gonna catch the subway to go to downtown, and you know, it was just people being people. You know, they're playing music, they're having a fun time, but everybody who, you know, was there for work, you know, they got to go to work or whatever, like, they were being attacked because they weren't joining in on their fun. Like, they weren't as rowdy, they weren't attacked, like, they weren't dancing or whatever. They were just keeping to themselves, and they were like, oh, that's the heteros over there, like, they whack, I mean, it's just like, I mean, like, I get it, like, you want to have fun, but at the same time, you have to respect a person that just doesn't want to do anything. The same way that they not telling you got to be quiet, is the same way you shouldn't attack them for not joining in on your fun. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, this whole thing is just, you have to tread water carefully. I think that's what this era is right now. Everybody's getting attacked for everything, and you just got to be quiet about it. I think it's kind of corny. Like, if you don't talk about it, where are you gonna get? Nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to talk about it. You have to bring it up in order to move forward. Whether, like, I'm not saying move on, like, oh, forget about them, they had their spurt. Like, no, I'm just saying, if you want people to, you know, hold up. If you want people to move with you along in your journey, to be able to have dialogue. If there's no dialogue is everything's gonna stay stagnant. Nothing's gonna happen. So, but that's just
Yeah.
my nickel, as Josh would say.
Yeah, I agree. Because they were put in that category, they tend to like be, oh, look at those cisgenders or make up these terms, and it's like it's the classical of like doing what was done to you, like hurt people. They're literally doing what was done to them, and I mean, I don't even want to say this, but it's like for the species to continue, a male and a female, and I understand technology can like finagle that and finesse it, but naturally a female and a man are to be together sexually, and then a baby comes. So to try and like make a certain type,
you're 100% gonna get attacked.
yeah, I mean, I'm not even worried about that, but try and attack people who are like on that natural path makes no sense. I'm not saying not have your opinion, but to try and say, oh, look at them, like they're weird. No, we're not. To be honest, we're the standard, and it's okay that there's an alternative now, or maybe there was even before. But to be in denial of that is a big issue, and like until there's like that understanding of common ground, which I'm sure some of them do, and some of them don't. But it's like, yo, what?
All right, so let me talk real quick. First of all, as a disclaimer, one, when we talk about LGBTQ and when we say them, obviously we're not talking about every single person.
Right.
Like it could, because you're gonna get attacked on the minute details.
We're not all like it.
Yes, everyone understands that. It's like no one group is all like something. You're definitely gonna get attacked. Hey, you don't determine what natural is. Bam. Then you're gonna say, because you said standard, you're gonna get attacked for saying standard. And alternate, like, yo, you're just gonna, everything you just said, you're just gonna get attacked on. You're gonna get nitpicked on every single point you said. And I understand where they're coming from. I do, but it's at the same time, like, it is what it is. I don't even want to really talk about it because I already know what's gonna happen. Like,
I mean, it's just like this thing. It's like the one thing like I do understand is just like, but it speaks to a bigger issue is like the whole common ground, like the whole like everyone just like respecting like what other people like, how they live or like how they think. But that's just
that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it is, but it's just like there's a whole. I feel like there's just a whole lack of that among everyone right now, or a lot of people, or a lot of different groups right now. I just feel like that. There's that. But I mean,
yeah, but the problem too at the same time is you cannot, as much as you want to be okay with everyone living their life how they want to live, like at the same time you cannot do that, because there's gonna be a situation where that arises where you're not gonna be happy about what somebody else is doing. Like, think about it like this. Okay, there's the standard, American family eats meat. Vegans will be tight. Some vegans will be tight at the fact that you are killing animals.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's that simple. Like, someone's always gonna have a problem with the way you live. Like, but at the end of the day, live your life.
Exactly.
You can't allow somebody else's opinion to
you can't
make you do something or make you not do something. Facts. If you want to eat meat, eat meat.
Yeah, we're saying the same
thing. Same thing with LGBTQ. If you want to have sexual relations with somebody, that's on you. It has nothing to do with me. I don't care. Do what you want to do.
Exactly.
I'm gonna live my life. It has no effect on me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you live, no matter which way you live, don't go and oppress another group because you want to oppress them. Like,
yeah, don't get oppressed, or don't be oppressed.
That goes for everybody.
You were oppressed.
Exactly.
You kind of defeat
exactly. Don't exactly. You literally become the same person you're fighting against. It doesn't make sense. And this goes for all groups. This is not just like
Facts. Facts.
us slandering LGBTQ. Like, live your life. Who's to say what you're doing is wrong or right? Well, at the end of the day, the only person who knows is you. You don't want to get that gut feeling.
Yeah, if it generally makes you happy, that's what matters, regardless of
Go
people.
for it.
And this is gonna be extremely controversial, but if somebody's
Yeah,
into something
you
that
are controversial.
a lot of people aren't into, I won't get into specifics of exactly what. But you know, playing the right or wrong is it's a headache, and it's not a battle that one can necessarily win. At the end of the day, people need to do what they feel is right and what makes them happy, and
That's
be
a fact.
happy with the pros and the cons that come with that. If you can be happy with that,
Fact.
you'll be fine. If you're doing it because it's cool or because it's a trend, and then you get the cons, then you're gonna be tight. And you'll be like, damn, I didn't really want to do this. I was just doing it because it was the thing, and now I got 20 years in jail. Like, you don't want to be that person. So it's just about, you know, understanding who you are or learning who you are. But that's a good segue into another group.
Yeah, what we got? What we got?
I wanted to speak on dating within the heterosexual hemisphere because that's what all three of us are. I can't speak on the other three or the other ones because neither of us are that, as far as I know. So paying on dates, like first date, do we split the bill? Like, you know, we're in this day and age of equality, and women want
I'm
to
going first.
feel,
You go
and women
first.
want to feel that they are on the same plane, given the same opportunities. So we'll touch the dating aspect, and then we'll kind of go into equality and feminism, and I'll give my guys the floor.
I'm gonna hit all your points. You're not gonna have nothing to say after I'm done.
All right, go ahead.
Let's get it.
Here we go with standards again. Throw
All right.
everything out the window. Listen, as a human being, I am gonna pay the first quote unquote date we have. The first time we together, I know I asked you out, you know, let's go do this, I'm paying for it. That's just me as a human being.
And if it's flipped?
The first one. What do you say?
And if it's flipped, like if she asks you out?
No, even if she asks me out, at least if she pays, at the end of the day, I'm paying for something.
Okay.
Because if we're on a date, you know, we're trying to feel each other out, we both invested our time into this, so I'm gonna at least pay for something. Anything after that is up for grabs, and the two people have to communicate. I feel, I don't know. It depends. It really depends. It really depends.
Yo, I don't see like.
I would like to pay, but at the same time, I don't want to pay for everything.
Like, was that supposed to be like?
Like, y'all gotta. I don't mind splitting it. I don't mind the girl paying for something, but it's just like, yo, you have to talk about it. That's the only way you're really gonna figure it out. There is no right and wrong at the end of the day. But you don't want to be the sucker who ends up paying for every date. I feel like even if a man pays, like the woman should at least offer to pay, or at least
Yo,
So play the game,
pay her.
basically.
it's nice. I mean, like, was that supposed to be like something crazy? Because I mean, I don't feel like that's crazy or wild at all. Because like going on dates, like that's kind of how I've done like things. Like most of the time, like even if I don't pay, like even if like even on the first date, like the most like we might do is like split it. But like most times, like I find it like I'll end up like I want to pay for like the first date. It's just like it's like I would like it's like not that I don't like I appreciate like if the girl offers to pay, like that's perfectly fine. Like on it, or if like you pay me back, like if you like just like Cash App or Venmo me, like you know like whatever. But like I don't like yeah like I but like I I just tend to pay for it. It's just like not crazy. And then after that, whatever, like I've had
Yeah,
time
this is
to
what it is.
exactly. It's like that's not like nothing crazy. Like I don't feel like there's like a standard sort of like, oh, this person is supposed like no, it's like
No,
everyone as long like obviously like people have different situations with money and stuff. So like if there's a
correct.
situation like that, I kind of understand someone paying for a good amount, like a majority of days during a certain period of time when like
Hmm.
money's tight for the other person. But like otherwise, it's like it's like something you talk about with whoever the other person is. I feel like
That's a
that's kind
fact.
of I feel like it's kind of like a point where like you see like the other person like that you're dating, like you kind of see where they're at and see where their head is at, sort of for certain things.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. You going at the end of the day, the whole paying situation is gonna tell you where their mind is at, bro. It
Like it's
really
just
is.
it is exactly like if they're like if like if I ever went, I don't think this has ever happened to me, but if I ever went on a date with a girl that was like really, really like bothered, like bothered to the point where like she was like really like mad or upset about me paying for the bill, that would kind of tell me a lot. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
like might
Th-
tell me a lot to the point where like they
th-
ain't gonna be a second date if you're gonna get that upset about it.
I don't know, bro. This whole world is confusing. It's all upside down because
It's
whether or
like,
not you pay or don't pay, somebody's gonna be
yeah,
upset.
I feel like
Like,
it's
it's
like there's so much variance now to where it's like you never know like what you're gonna get, like what's gonna happen.
yeah, because then you talk about equality, and then they're gonna be like, oh, but the guy always pays, but like that's hypocritical. Same thing with the toilet. A guy always has to lift up the toilet seat or put it down. It's just all madness. I
And
take
then
it one step at a time and try not to think about it.
and then they could be one way and like you can like you like see some on social media, they can be one way on social media, but then come to meet in real life
A
they can be
whole nother person in real life, yo.
so that's like that's when it gets really fun. That's when it just gets funny. It's just like, all right, well, hold on, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
It's like what's going on?
people be getting caught out here. People be getting caught out here.
Josh,
They look
you guys
one way behind the screen.
It's like, hold on, wait, I just seen that you said the other day.
Then you read that bio, it's different.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Anyways, Josh, I wanted to ask you 2 cents.
yeah, I feel
Ah,
I feel I feel the first date, at least from my understanding, the guy pays for the first date. I feel like anything after that, it's a mutual thing. Like we both want to see each other, unless you're just trying to go out with me on a second date for a free meal. Like, let's be honest. If you don't want to see me, then you shouldn't be going with me on a second date, in my opinion. I understand, sometimes females be bored, they want a free meal, this and that, but that's just how I feel. First date, okay, the guy pays. After that, you can either split or like maybe, I don't know, like movie tickets are like what, for two of you, like $16-20. So okay, the guy pays for that or whatever. But if we're like consistently going on dates and I'm consistently paying, like it's a problem. And maybe it's a tax bracket thing. Maybe if I was a bigger tax bracket, it'd be light. It'd be like a quarter to me. But I still feel like there needs to be like some kind of, unless you're unemployed, like the woman is unemployed and like I know that, okay, fine. But like if she has a job, like unless we're going on like some, I don't know, like some crazy expensive venture that neither of us can afford, like I just feel like it should be either split or you pay for yours, I pay for mine. I mean, that's something I've done more than anything. Like first date, I'll pay, but then after that, it's usually like, all right, like she pays for her meal, I'll pay for mine or whatever, or I'll pay for her dinner and then she pays for the movie. Like there's different ways to go about it, and especially if you want to be on the, equality and feminism, then you gotta hold your weight too. Like you want, if you want to be as seen on that plane as well, it's not gonna happen with guys doing everything. It's gonna happen with women pitching in as well, and then hopefully that'll help people see like, okay, well, women, even though that shouldn't be what helps people see that, but it'll show a woman, okay, deserve to be on this level playing field. They can handle paying for the date. They can handle splitting the bill, things like that. I just feel it's contradictory to if you're about equality and feminism, and if I don't know on the second date the guy pays for his meal, and then you're trying to look at him like you're not gonna pay for mine. Like, no.
I mean,
Nothing makes sense to me anymore, man.
I mean, I do want to shout out, like, sometimes sometimes, like, have you ever felt like you're gonna, like, it would be something like y'all have to get used to, like being, like, someone paying for, like, you on a date or something like that? Like, I don't know how it is for, like, you guys, but, like, most of the time, like sometimes, like, I thought it would take me getting used to, but then, like, once it actually, like, happened, like, it wasn't the first date, but it was, like, after probably, like, a couple dates. It's like, oh man, it's like it felt like it's just a different feeling. So I was like,
it's nice to not have to reach in your pockets, man. Like, I remember the first time, like, it wasn't even something I had ever thought of. Like, when I was in high school, it was, okay, I'm taking her out, I'm paying. It wasn't until I got to college where it was like the first time I'm gonna pay for something. Like, I had the money, but she offered, and I was like, all right, yeah. And then ever since then, I was like, oh, like, this is okay. Like, I don't have to pay for everything. We can split it or whatever. And I just feel like there's more of a partnership there. Whereas if I'm paying for everything, it's kind of like, especially dudes nowadays, they feel like, okay, I paid for your meal, like, give me the box. Like, if it's split, it's less of that. It's more on an equal plane. And I feel a lot of guys use that, try to use that to their advantage, where it's like, well, I'm gonna pay for the meal, I'm gonna pay for this, and then she's gonna have to sleep with me.
Reciprocate.
No, she does not.
Yeah, nah.
Just say reciprocate. You don't have to say.
Yeah, you don't gotta go all. We know what it means.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just feel,
Yeah, it's just like,
that's why certain guys want to keep women in that bracket, so that they feel like, okay, I have to provide for her, and then she has to reciprocate in her own way.
if a dude thinks that, then I'm sorry, that dude is just straight whack. Like, come on, bro.
A lot of people do, bro. You'd be surprised.
Like, well,
listen,
you get out of high
wouldn't be
school,
surprised.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like, if there's mad dudes, but I'm automatically like, that dude is whack to me. Like, if that's how he's thinking about that. Like, nah, bro. It's like,
then I want you to understand that 90% of the world is whack, because that's how 90% of these people think.
I mean, I thought
it is what it is, man.
I was thinking more around 80, but if 90%, it's just like, that's wild.
Yo, actually, let me just say this instance real quick. I was on Twitter, and there's this video of a guy, and it was for like Christmas, or I think his woman's birthday, and he has to open up these boxes, right? So the first box, she's like, oh, what'd you get me? She opens it, and it says bills. And she's like, what is this? And he's like, yeah, because I pay all your bills. This is a gift to you. And the next one is car note. Same thing. Like phone bill, same thing. And then clearly he didn't get her anything at all. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, he paid your bills, your car note, your light, and your phone for the entire year. And on top of that, you want him to get you something more? Like, I understand. Well, let me speak for myself. I personally believe that women have more power than men. I thoroughly believe that. So I understand why, they can do those things and get away with it. But like, if we're looking at it in an objective view, if he paid for all that and you want him to give you a gift on top of that, and there probably isn't much that you did for him or bought him, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you're putting yourself in a position to get played, and then he's going to cheat on you and do all this. And it's like, well, I'm providing you all these things, you're not really doing much. Like, I should be allowed to go out and get whatever. So it's like women say that, they have issues with that, but then the way you act is putting yourself in a position to have that done to you. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. You're still putting yourself in that position.
I mean,
I
I
don't
see
even
where,
know what we're talking about anymore.
yeah, I don't know. Like this kind of took a little bit of a left turn, but I see where he's talking about, and I see where he's coming from. But like, that's where you kind of get into. At that point, you're talking about like something that's established, like relationship. Like we were just talking about like first couple of dates or something. Like you're not really knowing what your relationship with the person
I was
looks
kind
like.
of relating it to like equality, like the whole equality feminism. But yeah, that was off of the
That's speaking to lean more to like people like that's been in a relationship, and if you got to that point with somebody, you got to be really like loving them, and you got to shoot. If a dude is doing all that, and then he don't like, and then like to the point where she's still expecting a gift. I'm not sure how many dudes will find themselves in that situation because well, I'm not gonna say that because dudes be doing a lot these days, but it's just if she's still expecting more, I mean, it's like, hey, now okay, so now like what you gonna do? Like, as a man, what are you gonna do now? Where you see she's still expecting more on top of what you're already giving her. That's where you gotta evaluate something.
You got to be able to draw the line of what is too
Exactly.
taxing for you and what isn't. The only way to do that is through communication. It all comes back down to communication.
It don't always.
Each person is different. Each situation is different. Because you
Exactly.
never know. Some people might be fine with something, other people not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like a lot of women use their looks to get away with things and then get upset when they get treated a certain way. Like, regards to like the whole feminism equality thing, if you want men to see you in a certain way, and or the general population of men to see you in a certain way, like they're not gonna see you as equal if all you're offering is your looks and physical appeal or whatever. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So, anyway, that's my take on it.
I mean, the guys that do that might see him as equal. So I mean, hey, because guys be out here doing that stuff too. So don't get it twisted like it's just females out here doing it.
No, it's everybody. Everybody's
I'm
wilding.
just saying.
You got to protect your neck. We're
I'm
talking about
just
this.
Everybody's wild. All right.
Everybody's wilding.
The last one is a softer topic. So Mike Vick's petition to be a captain at the Pro Bowl. Not Mike Vick's petition, but people made a petition trying to get him removed as a captain for the Pro Bowl because of his previous dog cases or dog abuse cases. I'm going to start because I'm going to be quick. If we believe as a society that, going to jail, going to prison is correcting your actions, which, by law is what they say it's supposed to be, then the man paid his time and he's also come out and done other things, charity and, amongst other things that he's done. And outside looking in, it looks like he's changed his life. Looks like that's not something he does anymore. He's NFL analyst now and, doing other charitable things. So to not have him be in the Pro Bowl because of something he did that had nothing to do with football, like I understand, the NFL has an image to uphold, but the man did go to jail and the man did technically pay for what he did or pay for his crimes. So, and it's the Pro Bowl. It's not like we're having him lead like investigations for any type of players' cases that's brought up against them. It's just literally taking people or being a captain for a Pro Bowl team. It's not that serious. Like, Vick has accolades that will probably land him in the Hall of Fame. And there's tons of people.
Probably.
there are tons of people in the Hall of Fame who, because you never know these people, but there's tons of people in the Hall of Fame who have done some horrible things, I'm sure, and still made it. So I feel like as a society, we need to separate the football player from the man. Like, yes, Vick did those things, but he has paid for his crimes. And if we're talking about something strictly for football, then what are you petitioning this man's position as a captain on a Pro Bowl team? Like, he's not even playing. I don't know. That's my take on it. I'm gonna keep it simple.
Zay, you could go ahead on this one. I want to go last on this one. Go ahead.
Heard. Simply put, Michael Vick, as a person, did what he did as a person. He paid his time as a person. We're talking about Michael Vick now, football. This is a job. He's doing his job. Why are you petitioning to stop him from doing a job? I don't understand. The job has nothing to do with dogs, fighting dogs. He, like you said, he paid his time for what he did that was wrong. There's hundreds of people out here who are doing worse, and y'all not petitioning for their jobs. You're not petitioning to get them out of their situations, to make them even pay for the crimes that they're doing. But you worried about a man and football. That's what I don't get. Yeah, your mindset is different. I'm gonna let you rock though. But put simply, Michael Vick is doing something football related. Let the man just do whatever he got to do for football relations. Like he not asking to own a whole bunch of more dogs. He's not asking to do anything with animals. Like this is a whole separate topic. There's many people who have started off words and have done good things. So it's like, yo, it don't make sense to me. Go ahead, James. I'm done talking.
All right, so I'm gonna try not to repeat some of the same sentiments as you guys did, but I mean, with this, something like this, it's kind of hard not to. But
that's what I'm saying. It's clear cut and dry, bro.
I want to start somewhere else different. I just want to ask the question, like, not like rhetorically ask the question, what are we doing? Like what are we really like doing right now? Like this petition, like the fact that there's this petition out here right now shows a couple things. It shows one, that no matter what you do, what penalty you serve, whatever type of community service or activism you do, people are always going to still hold grudges and have an issue with things that you've done in your past. So that's one. So now that that's clear, shows two, that there's a clear, kind of on the same lines, but sometimes that there's always going to be people that will try to keep things from you, that are, you know, even when you've shown to be a pretty model citizen outside of one slip up, and that people don't want to acknowledge that someone has changed. Like people don't want to acknowledge that, oh, well, maybe the mistake he made when he was younger, when he was in his 20s when this happened. Figure he graduated from Virginia, left Virginia Tech College early 2000, like 2000, 2001 maybe, and this happened in 07. So he was probably in his mid to late 20s. Now he's probably late 30s, almost 40, and people don't want to acknowledge that. Okay, maybe he's changed, even though been out of the spotlight, hasn't been in any trouble, been doing pretty good, doing whatever jobs he's done as an analyst. So it's just, what are we doing as a society? Like, it's just crazy to think that people will hold this kind of grudge. And also, it's like you hold this kind of grudge against someone, for fighting dogs. But all these other people and people that are much richer than him can still go about their lives, like you guys said, on a day-to-day basis. It's just, and it's just frustrating to see that people would want to keep this man from doing something and act like he didn't pay for what he did. Like he almost lost his football career for, act like, he didn't go to jail, so it's just, go back, like, we have to really, like, I just really want to look at this, like, as a society, like, what are we doing out here? Like, if we're not gonna, if sending people to jail, if we're still gonna hold this up against them, what's the point? Like, what's the point? That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, this will be like our last thing, but it's just like some people go so hard for dogs, like harder than they would for people. And it's just like, really think about that. You're going so hard.
Wait.
Sorry for, I tried.
Wait. Before anybody says anything again, Josh, repeat that last statement.
That people
remember
go
what you said.
So hard for dogs, but not about people.
That's it. That's what I'm looking for. People go mad hard for dogs, but not for other people. Thank you. People who read between the lines, they know what I'm talking about.
It's gross.
People are more worried about a dog dying than a human life being lost, bro. It's ridiculous.
I know, exactly.
I got into a little Twitter conversation with a woman because she was going so hard, and I was like, "Yo, you understand? Like, in other countries, dogs get eaten like regular, like that's just
regular
another day."
And she was like, "Oh, I'm vegan," and I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And then she was saying how she actually works in a shelter from some of his dogs, and now his brother is still doing it. And I'm like, okay, because his brother is doing it doesn't mean he's doing it. Like, if you have a family member, I'm sure you have something that your family member does that you may not agree with, but that doesn't mean you're part of it. Like,
exactly.
People get so emotional when it's about dogs, but when it's about other people, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, yo,
I would rather adopt a dog than a human.
Like, what? It's crazy. Like, why can't we have this love for like all the other animals then? Like, what's the difference between a dog and a goat? I mean, a dog is more accessible in the United States, but our dogs could be somebody else's goat.
Exactly.
That's what?
Exactly.
That's a fact. You know how many people in other countries be going hard for their goats, bro?
Hard. Like, that's their mans in them.
Those are more valuable than
hard for cows too.
Exactly.
That's a fact. Even ox, cow, all that, bro. People be going hard for their animals the same way y'all go hard for your dogs. But y'all signed a petition to stop the dog eating festival in China, but y'all eat cow like it's nothing.
Exactly.
Y'all eat so much turkey. Why you cannot, like, you're always going to fight another piece of society. It's going back to the LGBTQ thing. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't agree with your lifestyle. You cannot allow them to stop you from doing what you're doing. Exactly. You're not going to let no other person stop you from eating burgers on a grill on July 4th. I'll tell you that. I guarantee it. So what you fighting another person to stop them from doing their life? It doesn't make sense. You're not letting no other country stop you from doing it. I guarantee it. There's no way. That's how you gotta look at things.
Now put that out. Put that out.
A lot of people can't look at that. Oh man, you gonna have firefighters roaming the streets looking for charcoal grills, bro.
Right? Oh my god.
One speck of smoke.
They gonna,
running up in their
they
backyard.
gonna turn on the pump and blow off the whole grill, bro. Is that barbecue? Nah. That's jokes. This jokes, bro. This is jokes.
Oh man.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying, man. You just gotta live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fight nobody, bro. You cannot fight nobody. Say, nah, you have to agree with me. What? No, you're not gonna change nobody's mind.
That's the beauty
But
of it.
this is what we're here for. To just talk about it and air things out. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, remind me, Josh, I have to talk to you after this.
All right.
I got some funny things to say.
All right. That concludes another week of SOLtalk Sundays. Yeah.
So you want to recap? Let's recap.
Coworkers is not your man. LGBTQ, they're people too.
Live your life.
Live your life. Woman, keep that same energy if you want to be seen on the same playing field as a man in today's society.
Everybody keep that same energy.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael Vick paid for his crimes. Let him live. You know, people can change. That was another point I was making with the person on Twitter. People can change. Like, it shouldn't be, okay, you got caught with this one thing
That's a
for the rest
fact.
of your life that's held over your head. Then what the hell's the point? Like, why am I going to jail? Why am I doing all this soul searching or, you know, trying to be a better person? Then I might as well just run around and do whatever I want.
Wild out.
Because even if I try to be better, it don't make no difference.
Exactly.
But my name is Josh.
My name is James.
And that is
it. Till next
week. Peace, everybody. One and all that good stuff.